Welcome to the Brilliantly Resilient podcast. What's your train wreck? Everyone has one. The question is, are you going to live there or are you just visiting? Let's check in with Mary Fran and Kristen to learn how to come through not broken, but brilliant.
Hey everyone, before we dive into this week's episode, we have a resource that we wanted to tell you about.
Transform every week of yours with our Brilliance Bit that will deliver right to your email inbox. Sign up for it at brilliantlyresilient.net and keep living brilliantly resilient.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Brilliantly Resilient Live. We are here today having just spoken to an amazing group of young women with Soroptimist International, a group that is near and dear to my heart. Right. And we have Nancy with us, who is, you're just like the everything everybody does, takes all up the slack and everything.
Pinch hitting.
Yes, pinch hitting. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So we wanted to bring this to you to talk to you today and introduce you to the Soroptimists, who are it's for women. Is that what
our mission is for the betterment of women and girls, and it actually spans between helping people who are in situations, and maybe we work with Women's Place and we try to get them to do that. We also give scholarships, but today, the event that you spoke at today actually was for 14 to 18-year-olds to be able to look at and start thinking about careers and what do you think about time management? What is it that you're looking for, and kind of identify some of the things that they naturally gravitate to. And then we have a luncheon that the girls are at right now, and we have 16 professionals who the girls will have a chance to be able to pick their brains, if you will, and understand what they need to go through. Wow. It's really good.
This is so interesting to me because, I was a teacher. Mary Fran was a teacher back 157,000 years ago when I was growing up. Yes. They were it was like nurse, teacher. There was like 5 things that we had to choose from. Right. Now, luckily, I was passionate about teaching ever since I was little, but I would always think about my friends that didn't fit into any of that. Right. And even like my daughter now, no one else is doing this thing where you get to explore all these different careers. They just don't know what's out there. Yeah. So the fact that you're bringing it to them is fantastic.
And to be able to look into themselves and say, what am I passionate about? What do I really care about? Because one of the exercises is to have a box, just a plain white box. And we have all these pictures that are out on the table and different little diamonds and little, jazzy things and sayings and all that stuff. And then they can make their own box with their own personality. And then they can put things into the box as they work through the day so that they can go back and kind of review what they did. But some of the professions that we have cosmetology, we have a lineman, we have a police officer, we have a court reporter, we have real estate people, we have and it's funny because we have a police officer, and one of the girls I spoke to was interested in forensic, and I'm like, so I said, well, maybe if you could talk to like the police, because there's like the correlation of those things. And I was just talking to, and the police officer goes, oh no, my bachelor's is in chemistry. And the reason it's in chemistry is because I was interested in forensic.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So she here just able to like meld it and marry them up and be able to talk. So
and you know what I love when you talked about their personality, that acknowledgement of that part of them that, we think of our work lives, everybody puts them in a box of being separate, but they're not. They're not. We have to recognize that we bring the whole person to work, and to acknowledge that, and to encourage those girls to think about it that way, that you're bringing yourself and everything you are to your future.
Yeah. And I'm sure your listeners, because they must all listen to you, so they know some of your background. But some of my background, I heard you speak and you're like, well, this is what I was 23 years ago. And I have a similar, it's like, you think you're married, and it's okay to recreate yourself when you find the need to recreate yourself. And it instinctively, it in your heart when it's time to do it. And I raised, 3 children by myself. And then I worked for the government. I went to college, and you know what I mean? But I will share with them now that I'm going to be publicly. We just grabbed me, but I'll share. But I was going to school. I ended up working and became a single parent. And I ended up going to school, started while I was married, and had a baby, and then took a couple semesters off, had a baby, took a couple semesters off. And I actually graduated I went to night school for 20 years.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
But I still have gotten 25 years of return on my investment of school. So it's never too late for anybody who's out there who wants to be able to say, oh, I'm too old, or I can't do it yet, or whatever. You're never resilient. This is part of your resilience, is being able to recreate yourself and do what you want in the time frame you can.
Did you know that Julia Childs didn't even learn how to cook until her 40s?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then becomes this mega superstar at the end of her 40s and 50s. But yeah, to that point, she didn't know how to do any of that. And then here we go.
And here you go. And what was it, the painter? Moses, Grandma Moses.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Didn't paint till she was 80.
80.
And she's in the art museums.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we were trying to get across to the girls today. Like, you don't know if you keep looking at that. Well, I'm not really supposed to do that, or I didn't plan on that. And then you back up and go, well, where can we go with this?
Right.
I know that
has no rules.
I won't be the famous chef of Julia Childs right now.
But
Make a mean lasagna, but that's all I got. That is not my brilliance.
But isn't it true that your resilience is never ending? I mean, you just sit there and say, what is it do I have in my heart? What is it I want? And then, like we're training the girls today, pick 3 things and say, who can I talk to more about this? When can I talk more about this? And where can I maybe meet some people and join some organizations where I can learn more about this? Whatever it be.
And that talks to that one of the aspects that we talked to them about today, which was growing your tribe, like recognizing that people want to encourage this, especially with young people, because we all know that they're the future. I mean, that's a sort of a cliche, but it's a very true cliche, as most of them are based in some sort of reality. But, just this idea that there are people out there who want to help you succeed.
Right.
Especially with these young people, and giving them different options, and again, showing them that they can evolve.
Yeah. And that's why Soroptimist is encouraging it, because it's the age groups can there. And we work with adult women, and we have scholarships for adult women who may want to go back into the workforce. We do, all of the different newsletters, fundraising. We have benefits where people, the helping hand, where they can come in and say, maybe they don't have enough, or their muffler fell off their car, and you can apply for that sort of stuff. So there's Soroptimist. I mean, please, for the public who are listening, Google us. You know what I mean? And
can you
and learn
spell it
more.
for everybody?
You're really cool. SORO. Here we go. There we go. It's optimist with a sorority, and you can think of it. It's like okay, so yeah, it's the optimist group, and most people are aware of the men's group, which are the optimists, but this is the women who are working for the women and the girls. So it's like SORO.
I never knew where the name came from.
TIS. We can't do it together.
As you go for it, you go.
SOROPTIMIST. Yay! Soroptimist.
And this is an international organization.
This is international. As a matter of fact, it was 2 years ago. Our conference was in Japan or something. I mean, we are international, and we actually have video conferences, and it is international. So I don't know. Would you say you're in other countries?
17, 18 countries.
7 or 18 countries. Also, please look up Soroptimist and find out about it. And if there is a chapter near you, please join, because we really need to help each other.
We do. So Nancy, thanks so much for stepping in here. We know we drafted you at the last minute, but this was such an important thing for Kristen and I to do, because this is something that we really, really believe in. We really believe in supporting all students, but to have an opportunity to get to these kids when their personalities and their futures and all that are forming, particularly after the challenges of the last 3 years.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. I think it's important too that when I'm hearing all of this, that you guys are exposing these girls to other people outside of those little bubbles that we all live in, and their one little Instagram feed, that they're not considering all these other opportunities. So I love it. And I love that you guys are international.
Right.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Very
good.
good.
Thanks for being with us today. Thanks for having us here at the conference.
My pleasure.
all the way into the next town. We love these ones that are
This was a
local
good one
scouting.
for us. This was a good one.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Definitely go look up the Soroptimist and let us know if you find them in your country. Let us know where you're looking for them.
Exactly.
And if you need a few more resources on living brilliantly resilient, go to brilliantlyresilient.net. Make sure you sign up for the Brilliance Bit. It is our #1 most popular tool. We deliver it right to your inbox every week, and you get a 1-minute read to keep looking through the brilliantly resilient lens. We'll see y'all next time.
All right, bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Brilliantly Resilient podcast. Join our Facebook group and follow us on YouTube to be inspired with tools to reset, rise, and reveal your brilliance.